we're here with volleyball coach Keelie Arneson. Coach, you're off to an 11-5 record thus far through the season. It's a record start for us as a program. So just kind of talk about that and how you've been able to achieve these accomplishments.
It's obviously an exciting time for our program right now. I think one of the things that, one of the things with our staff is that we're not overly surprised. It's something that we just, when we come to the gym every day and when we prepare in the off season and preseason and all that, it's kind of what we expect. And it's based upon what we've seen and the growth that we saw last season, the growth that we saw this past spring, and what we keep continuing to do. It's a young group. So the exciting thing for us is that, we're proud of the start, but for us, there's so many more layers that we can add on to it that, that's probably the most exciting part, is that we're proud of it, but yet we know there's still a lot of work to do. But there's areas of growth in the middle, there's areas of growth on the outside, and our ball control within our system and the things that we do and the way we execute on that. I think we're excited for the second half.
You mentioned that you have a young squad, you're full of freshmen and sophomores. Just talk about how you were able to develop them and what you expect to see from them in the future.
It's funny because we kind of have a core group that I feel like was about as prepared as you're going to be when you come to this level. Played at high level club, great high school programs, and that core group I think has helped to make the players that needed to develop a little bit more. It's allowed them to kind of do their role. So that's kind of the thing for us, is that we've got some players that, like Katie O'Connell, for example, spent last year as a redshirt, and she was developing, and the players like Keelie Arneson and Kelly Jimenez and Stacy DeFrancesco, those types of players that are just really good volleyball players and good ball control players, they've allowed them to do kind of their job. And it's starting to come together now. We've got some young talent on the team as well. Glenna Johnson is starting to develop, and she's getting better every week. But it's all a matter of the current players and the more skilled players, making things easier for her. Emily Sweet's doing a great job of giving her the ball where she can kill it, and creating some confidence with her as well.
You lost your first conference game, but have won 3 in a row. Overall, the team's on a roll. 9 of 10 or whatever it is. Yeah. You're going up against Central Arkansas and Oral Roberts, who are picked 1 and 2 in the preseason. So just talk about how you expect to build off of your good, late stretch, and then how you plan to take that into the weekend.
Going to be a real challenging weekend. 2 very talented teams. Central Arkansas has offense from all positions, so they're very balanced. So we've got to be very disciplined, and we need to be really good at anticipating some things that we're going to see on film and things that we're going to talk about in scouting. So that's going to be probably the big thing with them. And to be perfectly honest, we haven't had a real good look at Oral Roberts yet. We're going to take a real good look this afternoon. Most of that's going to be Friday. We're going to spend more time preparing for them. But last year they were top 100 RPI. I believe they're in the 70s or 80s, so a strong program as well. So we knew when the schedule kind of came out that this was going to be a real challenging weekend for us. But up to this point, we played a real challenging pre-conference schedule. It's nothing that we're not prepared for. It's nothing that we're not used to, and it's nothing we're going to back down from.
We're here with sophomore Keelie Arneson. Keelie, you're the libero. Just talk about how you've been able to take your freshman and sophomore year, develop, and to help the team into the record start that they've had.
As a libero, it's my job to clean up the balls and get good passes to Sweet so she can set.
You've been named Southland Conference Player of the Week twice, so just talk about the honor that is for you.
It feels really good. I definitely work hard during practice, but I couldn't do it unless it wasn't for my team.
Here with sophomore Emily Sweet. She's a setter. So Emily, talk about, kind of like with Keelie, talk about the development of your freshman and sophomore season, how you're taking it to use for the team to help the record start.
Well, I think we did a lot during the off season last spring. That really improved my play as for the rest of my team. And then by everyone else improving in their position, it made my job easier.
Okay, you have 576 assists thus far this season. So just kind of talk about how you've been what you see on the court, how you're able to dish out such good sets to, Stacy and Mackenzie and Katie and all of them. Just kind of talk about what you're seeing on the court.
Well, Keelie's passing has been pretty amazing this season so far. Like, we haven't had any really off games with our passing, so that makes my job a lot easier. And whenever the passes are good, it gives me more options to set, which is harder for the other team to defend, which is why, like, our team has been getting so many kills.